Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the five-digit European Cup 2026. Here we are with our final match of the day, a Seed 5 versus Seed 6 affair, as close as you could get, and looking to clock in some highlights after that tie-breaking affair in the previous match is France versus Sweden. The 5 and 6 seeds, as previously mentioned. My name is Hubba, and joining me on the cast is LaForêt. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. But I'm also feeling excited for this matchup. This is France against Sweden over here. Two very high seeds in this tournament, right next to each other. Actually, it's 4 against number 5, France and Sweden, respectively. And I mean, they're getting right into it. Looks like we got a 3-1 ban for France's first, and Sweden to follow up with a Hard Rock 1, getting rid of that Hard Rock tech. And let's talk about these bans real quick. What do you think about having less of these one maps in a low SR matchup against such strong teams?
Yeah, it's a bit curious. I feel like the Hard Rock one makes sense to a degree. France not really known for their Hard Rock though. You feel like you look at France in this lineup of teams for this tournament, and like you see a lot of teams with varied levels of depth, but France is very much like, we know what we like. We like control maps and we like hidden. So the Hard Rock 1 ban feels more preference from Sweden rather than like striking out a very strong skill set on the other side. And for that, it's a little curious, but immediately we go into a Hard Rock 2 pick. Uh, I believe it was Sweden's first pick. So if it was Sweden that picked this, very curious, banning Hard Rock 1 into picking Hard Rock 2.
Yeah, that's the difference in map style. Like we can see right now, it's Hard Rock 2 smaller CS, CS 6.6, I believe. Very long map. France did play this last time in their first match against Finland, Sweden's neighbor right there. Let's see if the results will be any more different though. Looks like we already got some misses come out from a couple players. Punkysteria going down for France at first, and Sige missing a little bit, just getting into this match. First map nerves definitely real, especially for such a high CS map. We're going to be here for a long time though.
Yeah, this is a very interesting first pick dynamic wise. I feel like picking the high CS precision early on is going to be a real test of your nerves in a match like this, where it's less a comfort and more just like very high stakes, right? Both of these teams winning their first match, being so closely aligned in seed, and passing the nerves check with flying colors so far is France. Still holding on to the near four-way. Punkysteria just missing in one of those early 15 combos. The only one on the other side is Ran, holding on to their own FC, but the low axe, nothing to scoff at. And with that final break, it's going to be really skyrocketing.
Ooh, France dominant on the Hard Rock so far. You can see how Sweden got rid of Hard Rock 1. 4-way FC basically. Punkysteria only 20 behind the rest of his teammate. 600,000 score for France, and still only counting 99.5% for Jushu. Punkysteria goes down on that little ending circle there for the pick. That's unfortunate, but it's 700,000 for their first pick. A confident start for France. We will now see what Sweden can do on the coming map, because they have no combos to answer against Tree still going for France. Sorry, too.
Yeah, and for France, still building up. This is a oh, well, maybe not now, but it would have been a very improved score by their own measures. They hovered just around the score line last time with a 2 million about finish the first time they played this in the previous match, and now improving that more so is these remaining combos. Bringing back the score lead a little bit with this added score from Sige, but this map was decided within the first minute. I feel France with a very strong first pick.
Yeah, the consistency from their Hard Rock roster here, France. They actually improve their team score a bit from their last match
Yeah,
by
500k.
about 200,000 extra score. Very nice. Get that three-way to start off for their first point out. Sweden will have to answer back with one of their own picks. Let's see what they go for. What do you think, Hubba? What are we thinking? What are we thinking for Sweden?
Yeah, this Swedish roster really solid on the tech, at least comparatively. You look at the qualifier scores from last weekend. The number 3 for Sweden on that tech map versus the number 12 for France. Actually, one of the weaker skill sets. So, no mod 4 this week. Very standard, very traditional. A little dense on the AR 9.1, but would not be too surprised to see that come out from Sweden as the first pick. But it's going to be Hidden 2, actually,
Ooh.
going into Apricot. And you are picking Hidden into this French team, which is a little scary.
Hmm. The map itself is also very scary. If you've seen it, lots of very awkward. Bit of finger control in every once in a while as well. I mean, obviously that's the low AR, but I feel like it's the more awkward timings for this one. Lots of sliders as well, so you gotta watch out for that. And I think there's a little 1/3 section about halfway in that if you're not ready for, could miss. See if that plays into this map right here, right now. Sweden. See Pompey Weg come in. See it will stay, but France is ready with their 4 hidden players for this Hidden 2.
Mm-hmm. Mikado Legato and Millie, my beloved, formerly known as Louis D, hopping into the lobby. Louis D, actually holding the badge for my tournament, the hidden 1v1 tournament, so has proven his worth there and is looking to do the same on this one again, which is why it's so surprising that Sweden picked this. Of course, we have to look at early stage dynamics and the lower SR, but the Hidden 2, I mean, like, Team France is just so good on this kind of reading. And you do look at Pompey Weg and Sieg on the other side, the standout players for Sweden in my eyes, at least the players I recognize. But gonna be an interesting one here as this first pick.
Scary lower AR players for both sides. Gonna be starting real quick here. Get ready for some AR8 hidden, very dense. Lots of doubles as well as I think quads as well pop up in this match, or in this map. Sorry, lots of. Honestly, this map has a lot of tapping. It's only 160, so it shouldn't get in the way. But gotta get your fingers ready for awkward tapping on this Hidden 2. Very slow. Also, watch out for these buzz sliders, as you can trip up on them if you are not careful.
Yeah, very devious in its tapping difficulty as this map, and very dense. Of course, you're looking at this AR8 first break to come through for Punkysteria. Accuracy putting up a lot of work for keeping this scoreline even, though, on some of these FCs. Magato was holding on to the SS for just a moment there, but it's all about the comfort, and immediately this is going to begin to build for Sweden.
Comfort towards Sweden right now. Even if you don't count the combos, the accuracy is looking much better on their sides. Mikado got a 99.3, the highest in the lobby, but Sweden, their team average in terms of accuracy is looking very high. They have a 50,000 score lead now, going at about 1/4 of the way through. We have a lot of time on this Hidden 2, extremely long. So watch your nerves, especially for some of these buzz sliders. You might wiggle off of them just for half a second and you lose all your combo. But so far, aside from those first 2 breaks, Fayar and Punkysteria, we have not seen any more after, as Sweden reaches 100,000 score lead here. We're approaching 1/3 of the way through, and it looks like their pick so far is paying off.
Yeah, all 4 FCs have held on so far, but you have to worry about that 1/3 section looming around the corner. That's going to be the make or break for this pick, especially with this recovery combo from Punkysteria. Is ready to pounce at just a moment, depending on which FCs drop. And it's getting scary. It's being built up to 200k, but here we go. Most volatile part of the map. If you miss it during this section, your potential score is going to diminish rapidly. And there goes Mikado and Louis D on both of the remaining FCs for France. Sweden running away with the 4-way continued on. How far can they take it?
Sweden proving us strong. Here comes the 1/3 section, though. Looks like they are all prepared for it. France collapsing right before they can build like some kind of combo, but Sweden's not budging. The Svitza goes down, but Sweden is not budging. It's 500,000 score lead, and this is looking exactly like what France was doing in their first map, and Sweden taking it right back. The answer with a strong map pick on this Hidden 2. There is another section to go, but I mean, with how strong these combos are right now, high accuracies as well as no breaks, and France down by 2 FCs. Well, actually 4. It doesn't look like the score is gonna flip anytime soon.
Yeah, at this point, this map, similarly strong as the HR2 was, this is a absolute blowout. The triple FC still holding on tight even then. The 630k off the back of Ran Yakumo is still higher than 3 people on the side of France, and that is the bottom score. And even with that break from Punky Hysteria, now he may just overcome that 4th. Truly phenomenal scoreline here, and I would be shocked if this was not the #1 score of the weekend on Hidden 2.
It's definitely such a strong team score there from Sweden. 3.6 million, over a million team score, or over a million score lead on the team score against France, who, well, talked about being such a powerful hidden team. Well, Sweden's the one winning the hidden 2 for this matchup. But DT1 comes straight out from the captain there, Juchu, ready for some high AR. Hopefully Sweden's players are as well. Gotcha. Ooh. Isn't this a finished song?
I believe so. I believe this is finished, but originally was put in, I believe was either the runner-up or the winner of Euro Cup 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but yeah, definitely a Eurovision song, and very interesting beat map. This is going to be your AR 10.3 snap aim check with light tech elements, very similar to that HR1, despite it being in the DT pool with the skill set difficulty. So it makes plenty of sense. France just picking their poisons with regard to, okay, you ban Hard Rock 1, the closest maps is going to be Hard Rock 2 and DT1. So just pick those two first, see what happens.
Well, they're going to see very soon here, Sweden. They've been kind of scrambling with their players here. I don't know if we're preparing for the high AR. I'm assuming Sige and Spitz are probably going to stay in this lobby. Those two play a lot of maps. France, they switch out Tree. They bring in their high AR players, Juchu, Hiras, and Enfant, for their 4 completed with Punky Hysteria. That is the match of the lineup, sorry, for this DT1. Let's see what they can do against their second pick, because if you don't see any kind of break point, this is definitely going tiebreak. Because this is such a close matchup. I would definitely love to see another tiebreaker today. That was Ukraine Benelux earlier. That was really intense.
Yeah, that was. This is gonna be a hard match to follow up after that one for sure. But before we continue on with this map, a little stat line for you. I checked all the MPs for the matches this weekend. The top score was Sweden last weekend with a 3 million on that hidden 2, and they increased that by the 600k for that last score, just to show you some comparison for how strong that last pick was. But now France looking to do the same here with DT1 Cha-Cha-Cha. The DT aim with the AR 10.3, incredibly tricky geometric patterning.
Coming at you fast. Asha does not let you slide this time. IAR doesn't need to bother anyone just yet. Lots of high accuracies. So France will come out on top of the first couple circles with the higher accuracy overall for their team. They dropped some accuracy, but Uge, both of them actually, the bottom 2 players for Sweden, dropping their combos right at the start, and now France will run away very, very fast with a 4-way going into 1/4 on the timer.
Yeah, and this is one of the shorter maps in the pool, just under 2 minutes, so those early breaks are going to matter a bit more than they usually would. In we go with our first div spike here. You see these slightly longer sliders pulling on the control. First slider break to come through for Punky Hysteria on this Ki. All their 3 players hold. Sige breaks, and Sweden, despite the opening, unable to capitalize because it's a 3-1.
Yeah, Spizza right now alone against 3 massive combos. Punky Hysteria as well, 98.5. Absolutely clean from him, and I mean, this T1, you know, we've learned a lot about score leads above 500k. It's happened for the last 2 maps And it's gonna be the same here for this third DT1. France is dominant, but still, Sweden, I'm assuming, has another ace up their sleeve. Maybe even pull off another score lead like this. But France, I mean, they don't want to be down in the lead of 1 million score leads. They're increasing it even more. They get another break from Enfant, but it's a 1.2 million score lead for France. 4.1 million on the DT1. Sweden, I mean, that's not even a bad team score. They just had unfortunate moments right at the start, but now Sweden does get to pick. See, what are you thinking there? Are we thinking another hidden, or do we want to stray away from that?
Oh man, I am. The hidden one is an interesting pick for this pool, especially with the Hard Rock one ban. I'm unsure if they are willing or wanting to go into another snap aim pick. Because the hidden one was stylistically, like, it's not as dense. I believe it's AR 9.4 ish. So you don't have that raw reading advantage that you would have otherwise. So maybe looking to go into this Nomad pool. I still think Nomad 4 is a phenomenal pick for Sweden going into this, but maybe they're just saving it for a little bit of a rainier day here.
Yeah. Sweden thinking about it right now. I do want to see No Mode 4. I want to see some sliders, you know?
Hmm. Also,
We saw some of that in
another point of comparison here. The 2.9 million for Sweden was tying or getting quite close to the number one score on that DT1 for last weekend. So France's 4 million score may be a number one by over 1 million, according to the stat sheet. Both of these teams going quite strong, but I am liking this Free Mod 2 pick. Trying to stay with the lower approach rates is going to be Forces. I worry somewhat for whichever player they're going to be having on the Hard Rock here. But in terms of the players who are preferential to the hidden and the reading, this is going to be a pretty good pick for Sweden. And immediately we see Pompejiwag hop in the lobby to do just that.
I mean, Pompey, it's an easy hidden player. I think took it on the same map last week against Netherlands, I believe. They did win that map, I'm pretty sure, by quite a decent margin if you had the multiplier. Open to do it here. They do keep their tree so far. I'm just looking for Svizza for their fourth here. Yep, there it is. Svizza was the one who took Hard Rock. And I think Zeus also took Hard Rock. So they're gonna maybe going for double Hard Rock here with a no mod again on this on Seagate. But let's see what France takes on the mods here. They have reading players as well as a very good Hard Rock roster. So let's see what they mix up with their tools on their team. See Fayer, Punkisteria, Louis D, and Juchu. I'm assuming, you know, we're thinking like Juchu Hard Rock, Louis D hidden possibly, or we're gonna see a hidden, easy hidden.
I think Louis D is preferential to the hidden only here. I didn't really know them as an easy player, but they are pretty comfortable with this kind of older style Kirby mix mapping. The control difficulty here kind of pretty up their alley with the ult, and we may be seeing opposite strategies here with Sweden tripling down on either no mod or hiddens, and France looking to overmod the Hard Rock as actually other way around. Wait just a minute, that's a double hidden on top from Punkisteria, which I was not anticipating at all. Fayar and Juchu both rocking the Hard Rock here.
Yep. 2 hiddens, 2 Hard Rocks for France. Sweden runs the same as they did last match. Let's see if that works out, their consistency. This map though, again, you said very awkward Kirby mix style. I mean the song, he maps a lot of these songs, or used to map a lot of these songs. How many of them just sit around there for poolers to find? I swear, I have not seen this map, and this is like 100 Tsusumu Hirasawa map I've seen from Kirby mix, but well, let's see what Sweden is doing right now. Right now, they're in the lead, even with the multiplier. France is starting to collapse. Louis D goes down. They are down at 83 on the Hard Rock. That does not look good. And I mean, even in terms of accuracy, Sweden is looking much cleaner than France on their Free Mod 2 pick right now. Pompiwag on 100% reading comfortability. Very nice accuracy. But here comes another Ki to test France's ability to combo.
Yeah, the easy hidden multiplier for this map was hovering around 2.1 last time I checked. So 2.1 mult. On top of that is a score of about 100k in the current moment for Team Sweden. The break from Sviz is going to help quite a bit, especially with Fayar having a little bit of uncomfortability in this pick. But it is clawing back their direction with the recovery combos. But of course, you do have to take that easy mult into account. So long as Pumpedgywag is holding onto this SS, it's going to be a really rough road for France bringing this back.
Yeah, you're gonna need to start seeing a lot more red, both on the score lead as well as from the combos when Sweden Zeus goes down. That makes things a little bit easier, but still, you gotta take into account 2.1 multiplier. That's over 100k score lead right now. I think it's 150-ish around that. If you multiply Pumpedgywag's score right now, it's 200k. He has 400,000. And France needs more combos. They can't tell right now on this break. They do not know. They know they're in the slight lead, but that's without the multiplier. Chuchu shaking his fingers there, his cursor. They do have 3 combos to work with. Fayar is on the recovery, but Sweden still not budging aside for not miss from Zeus.
Yeah, and this pick keeps on winding down. It's getting closer for Team France. Again, this multiplier is telling such a massive story in the current moment. Still, so long as Pumpedgy holds, it's this 100k difference with that double up and some change. But if one of those FCs were to fall, it's all combos held on in the current moment. And Team France is making this pick quite scary for Sweden, especially with how one-sided the Hidden 2 was. Going into these rounded quick patterns at the tail end, any miss matters, and it's Punky Stereo finding the slider break under aim may just have been enough for Sweden to hold on to the lead.
Ooh, break from Punky Stereo nearly seals this. That's FC almost from Pumpedgywag. His teammates are breaking though. Pumpedgywag finally goes down, but is that enough? That's around 1 million for Pumpedgywag. You gotta multiply it. But I think it's a 500 score.
It's perfect. It's actually perfect. It's
perfect.
Okay, so if this was a 2x multiplier, he would have won by 3k. It would have just been a 3k difference. But because it's 2.1, Sweden wins the point by like 40k-ish.
Pumpedgywag coming in clutch. Misses at the end, but that is a clean score on the easy hit. And Sige S rank for his team. And great supporting combos from Zeus and Svitza. Francis could not do anything against that easy multiplier, seems like. And Sweden will be taking their second point. We're tied 2-2 now. And the teams get 2 picks each. Let's see what France does here for the second half of the match.
Yeah, France. The DT1 worked wonderfully. The Hard Rock 2 worked wonderfully, but now you are looking for maps similar, and the rest of this pool is incredibly different from those 2 picks with that HR1 gone. I suppose the DT3 is available, and that is going to be the next pick. With going into our AR10 DT control map, this is going to be sort of snap doubles and control at this SR, and as close as you're going to get to a higher BPM alt map in this pool. I feel like after this, I would be curious to see if France doubles back into that Nomad 3 that they used in previous matches.
Yeah, France would definitely like their alt maps a lot. Any matchup, really. Very strong on these kinds of maps. The CT3, higher AR, right? Not really the most flowy alt map. It kind of repeats this pattern for like, I think 3 KIs or so. Like this node into a slider, like a double almost. But other than that, this map is fairly straightforward. Pretty simple. Oh, we got Gerlach here in the lobby. Gerlach. Wait, who is that? Is that a name change?
I'm unsure.
That is GD Slicer, apparently. Been not sure who wins the username battle here between these two teams. Very close, I would say.
Mhm. But this is an interesting roster change for Sweden. Girl like her hopping in, of course. This map very similar BPM to those of low BPM stream maps. Again, high BPM all around that 170 in betweener range. So, Girl Liker, normally a part of that Nomad 2 roster for the Swedish side, looking to make advantage of that finger control.
See how this plays into the hands though. Sweden lost this last time. France is looking to capitalize on this. They do sub out Face Terry for Girl Like Her. That's a small change that they did. See if it pays off well. Here comes one of the PI sections right at the start of this map. Looks like no one's budging just yet. Let's see the accuracies. Slightly in favor of France. Lots of 98s. 99 on Juchu, but here comes the alt section. Very, very fast. Comes at you quick and ends right before you can finish blinking. But no one, all 8 players, still holding the combo halfway through. This map is really short. So let's see for any quick breaks leading into some kind of massive score lead because DT is such a volatile mod. Sweden, I mean, they're not going to break point without an accuracy lead. They're going to have to want a miss from France somewhere here. But it's 100k 1,000 score lead and they are not budging.
Yeah, still all 8 FCs being held onto. This traditionally has been a very high scoring map over the weekend. Right now it's just accuracy advantage, but with that break from Juchu, wait just a minute, Hiras as well. The double break on that bottom row for France is a 4-way FC wall from Sweden, looking to overcome the odds, find the first breakpoint in this matchup. Every point to this measure has been incredibly distant in terms of score lead. So this breakpoint is massive, both for morale and to get the edge in this matchup. All 4 FCs still being held on to. Both Juchu and Kiras missing at that halfway point was the final storm. Enfant and Punky Steria just to match it. A little salt in the wound for Sweden, overcoming a massive breakpoint. And how's that for some improvement? 4.4 million. A quad FC.
Sweden here, they break the siege of France. They break out, improve their DT3 score by such a massive margin. It's another 1 million score lead. But this time, it is a breakpoint. That's 3 for Sweden, and they get to consolidate for 1 more pick. Let's see if they can take their 4th here for match point. Put France on their knees. And let's see very quickly what map it is. What do you think it's going to be, Hubba?
Yeah, for Sweden, I mean, that was a very one-sided pick. I feel like you are still wary with regards to Nomad 3. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here with how much I'm repeating myself, but Nomad 4 is open. This is a map that Sweden is very good at. They're very good at tech maps. I'm unsure why they haven't picked it yet. I feel like this would be a good time just to confirm that match point. But it's Nomad 3? What?
Whoa.
They picked the ult?
Whoa.
I am deeply, deeply unsure of this.
Yeah, I mean, if you know what France got on this last time, I would be pretty scared. But I mean, Sweden's the one who knows their scores. And they seem to be confident they can take this one away from France.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 3.2 million last time out for France. And Sweden looking to maybe strike while the iron is hot. Maybe those players are feeling a little less confident today because of that DT3 breakpoint. Just try and keep that momentum up, I suppose. But this is a very scary thing to do. I mean, I still think that tech pick was quite strong, and they still have that available for their next pick. It's not over till it's over, but now they will have to do it with potential back against the wall if it makes it to that point.
Yeah, it's close right now. Sweden's players seem to be taking their time still. France on the ready. They have bayonets fixed and they're ready to receive Sweden's charge here. Nomad 3 Starting quickly, one by one, they join. Svizza staying in this roster. I think has Svizza, Uge, and Sige played every single map so far. I haven't seen the names like the whole match. I mean, that is their core. But holy, that is very nice.
Uge took a little break on the reading maps, but other than that, specifically on the Fremont too, but other than that, has played every map. Very strong trio core for this Sweden roster. And looking to make it count once more as we head into the Nomad 3. This map a little bit more rhythmic than that DT3 was. More hybrid alt difficulty. A little bit more variance in patterns as well. Of course, that DT3 quite repetitive in nature by comparison. This one, all about keeping your wits about you. 3 minutes of this mixed alt. And it's going to all come down to these key eyes, I think. Prior to that, you just have these little 1/6 sort of spacing changes that are the main difficulty, but accuracy advantage to France ever so slightly.
Yeah, we've been seeing these a lot, right? They have an 8-way hole for the whole lobby, but France does have this better starting accuracy. They're gonna lose that lead very quickly with that miss from Enfant, but very long map, lots of places to break. And now here comes the key eye. Let's see who blinks first. Mixed alt coming in close, cuts. So far, no one's been taken aback. That 20k scroll is not going towards Sweden just yet because of the accuracy from France. Immaculate. Almost 99 from Juchu and Punkisteria, as well as a 98% from Fayer. And even with that break from Enfant, it's still 98%. Only behind by about 50,000 from the rest of his team. And because of that, Sweden is not taking the scores back. Actually, they had a miss from Zeus, that's why. But I mean, you can see their accuracies are slightly slower. Uge's at he was at 97. Sige is down to 96, and Zeus as well, alongside the miss, is also at 96. So even if they have equal combos right now, Sweden is on the back foot with the lower accuracies. But Fayer goes down. That's a huge combo. Zeus breaks again, but that's not the 3 FCs that you have from Sweden. This might be another big point, but well, Sweden is still holding on. Zeus breaks again, but that keeps the score in favor of France. But it's 3 FCs to it's 2 FCs to 3. Sweden very slowly taking this back, but it's not budging. They lose 1 FC. Uge goes down, and it's a 2 versus 2. Juchu and Punkisteria against Uge. Svizza and Sige, but Svizza goes down, and now the map is starting to end. France might just take another breakpoint back, 3-3 to tie this up passively. But I mean, you still have to face one of Sweden's historical best players, Sige, the rock of this country. Can he hold on against 2? Punkisteria and Juchu staring him down. Map is starting to end, but with the hardest part of the map only about to start to settle in. We're not gonna see any praise. We're not seeing anything happen. France is holding on to 200,000 score lead, and we are down, or we are on a tied-up match now. Sweden against France, 3 versus 3 to 3 points. Punkisteria and Juchu making magic work here on their pick against Sweden. A mistake.
Yeah, the mistake coming through. I mean, they thought that they had the advantage on the ult on the day, but France with a very different roster to that DT3 coming back to take what was theirs. Very confident French ult maintained. And breakpoint for breakpoint, tit for tat, it is back to France to try and consolidate and get this match point here. You're looking at they picked the tech. What is happening in this match?
you ask for tech, you get tech. Nomad 4 comes out from France, and well, they switched. I mean, maybe they got confused with the map slots for a second there. Sweden takes the Nomad 3, and France will pick the Nomad 4 into Sweden. Picking the opposite skill sets. Let's see what happens.
Wow, yeah, I am shocked. Honestly, this is crazy. Sweden in the map pool stats for quals was the number 3 qualifying Nomad 4 score. By comparison, France was number 12. We don't know what France gets on this map. They have not played this in their previous match, but Sweden got number 5 with a 2.3 million team score their last time out, and it felt like a little bit of a low roll. So this time out, looking to maybe improve on that is France. And I mean, I feel like we're playing opposite day here for it. I mean, they keep on picking each other's maps.
Yeah, I mean, because of that though, they do have a breakpoint into a breakpoint. Let's see if the same thing happens here. Sweden, both teams are looking for that match point. It's a best of 3 right now, and Nomad 4 will be the first. Rosters already. Looks like we're gonna see Pompeiweg come in for Sweden, as well as their core staying. 3 players again swapped out for France. Punkysteria though, ever so consistent for this France roster, staying as he's been in that like top left slot for France for the whole match. I have not seen his name move at all. Let's see if he can make some magic work again, like on the Nomad 3. On this Nomad 4, lots of slider spam, a little bit of a finger control, as well as a few streams that you gotta watch out for. Very long map as well. So we are in for a wild ride of technical difficulty.
Yeah, as previously mentioned, the Air 9.1 adds a interesting wrinkle to this map. Of course, this sort of meshed skill set, you normally see these tech picks being on the higher AR side. It's going to add to the density, add to the reading difficulty. Hence why you see sort of the reading rosters for these teams come to play on the pick. You see Pompeiweg on the Swedish side. You see Louis D hopping back in for their first non-hidden affair in this matchup. All 8 FCs being held on. This is a matter of consistency. 3 minutes and 43 seconds of this. One of the longer maps in this pool. And Sweden coming to play France, looking to get match point. Whoever wins this one will be very instrumental as we head into our first slider diff spike.
Here it comes. Lots of back and forth sliders, big sliders as well. Slider velocity changes, all of the slider differences that you can name. Slider stream was slider burst, sorry. Don't see that very often. But so far, no one has budged. Mikado Agado, first one to go down though. That's huge. That's a very high accuracy FC going down for France. Louis D down at 96 as the map starts to slow down for a couple seconds here. This is some free combo for Sweden. They get to extend the lead by, I'm assuming they can reach 100k here very easily if they just keep holding. But so far, France with 299s. Fayar and Punkysteria on the left over there, as well as Mikado failing with his break though. That's unfortunate. But here comes a slightly more calm section. You think about your thoughts. You know, collect your thoughts. Think about your FCs. Maybe don't get nervous though, because this map does not get any easier.
Yeah, a slight slowdown, a building of emphasis and nerves for these players still. It's just a singular break from Mikado as we pass our halfway point. Over 100k of lead is surprisingly not as much of a budge. The score lead going ever so slowly as we are in this section of the map, but the note density towards the tail end going to be instrumental to this lead. It's all 4 FCs held. You're looking for any sort of cursor shakes, any sort of nerves in this difficulty. And still all 7 holding. This is very intimidating at the moment.
Sweden's improved their score by a lot, but the map is starting to get into the more intense part. Here comes the stream, and here comes the hardest part of the map. Slider velocities get even faster, and Mikado Agado goes down again, but Uge trades though. That's one of the FC's gone for Sweden. Now it's 3 versus 3. Louis D goes down, and now it's 2. Punkysteria and Fayar, the best accuracies on France to try and hold against 3. Sweden holding on to this map very, very tightly though. CK goes down, but the map still has so much density to go off of. Fayard, no, that's the last big combo for France that really mattered. Punkysteria can FC, but it does not matter no more if you have to face 2 alone. Sweden, Pompeiweg, and CK coming in clutch. That looked big. That looked like a big score lead, but I will tell you right now, if they lost another combo from Sweden, that would be like 100k. But that is 4. Sweden takes 4 against seed number 4. France is on the back foot for this next map. Can they take tiebreaker? Let's see what Sweden picks here for the last map.
Yeah, that breakpoint. The writing was a little bit on the wall with that one. with that team score. Just to put in perspective, the number one score, according to Stat Sheet, was the 2.9 million from Germany. That's a 500k improvement on that,
Oh my
and a
goodness.
100k or a 1 million improvement from their previous score. So, talking about that last score being an underperformance, and they are proving it now with that break point. And I mean, I suppose because France picked it, it wound up being pretty decent that Sweden didn't want to pick it, since France wound up doing the dirty work for him.
Yeah, that Sweden mispicked a normal tree, but right now the bigger mispick of this match is that no one for France. Very, very unfortunate. They have the match. They gave the match point away. Is what happened. Sweden now gets to pick what map they want. Any map they want that's left. It looks like number 5. They want some speed in this matchup for the first time.
And this is a curious pick to me. If I'm Sweden, I feel like I'm a little preferential to Nomad 2 in that instance, just because it's as close as you can get to France's ban of Free Mod 1. So, interesting pick here as we go into Nomad 5, Akari Beam Cannon. This is straight 245 BPM, speed, stamina, no spacing in this map at all. I feel like most of the breaks that happen on this pick are on those buzz sliders towards the tail end of the burst. If you let go a little bit early, or if your tapping is a little inconsistent, you wind up going early there, it's going to be disastrous. The amount of S ranks that have shown up on this map.
Yeah, gotta watch out for your tapping there. Don't want to let go of these buzz sliders, but we've been seeing a lot of slider maps in this match. I think we started off with what was the first? I kind of forgot. Sorry. I think it was a hard rock. It was a hard rock 2. That map has some fairly long sliders because it's very slow. Hidden 2 also has a lot of sliders. Slider spam. I mean, DT1 as well. Now that I think about it, maybe there's just a lot of sliders in this pool. Nomad 3 has slider elements as well. Nomad 4, I mean, it's Nomad 4. And now we're seeing sliders in Nomad 5. That's a lot of sliders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plenty of sliders at the tail end. You can see that pretty commonly with lower SR tapping maps. Trying to fill in the void that normally would be represented by other longer bursts, but it's going to be FaZe Terry hopping in for their first pick of the match, as is Raiden for Team France. Both teams pulling into the depths, finding their backlog, making sure all skill sets represented as we go into what may be the final map of the match if Sweden gets their way. Final pick of the match at the very least. France back against the wall has been your strongest, looking to bring their own match point and get the tiebreaker now. Enfant having some struggles early on though with that first break. Unfortunately with Bancho, egg on my face, but and we go with the beginning diff spikes, longer bursts, and buzz sliders galore, looking for any sort of ack hiccups, and Throwliker, first one to fall.
Ooh, that's not a Bancho, doesn't seem like it. Eggshells turn into bombshells. Throwliker, first one to go down for Sweden. They don't have their core here for the speed map. I think did they swap out somewhere? No, this is the same. This is actually no. They swapped out Fizza for Zeus. This is not the same roster they ran for Nomad 5 last time, which they had a 3-way FC on. They already lose 1, so let's see if they can replicate their tree. So far, France still looking to match them. Raiden, Punky Stare, and Mikado still on FC. They see the scores, and here comes another stamina section. 5-note bursts each and every single time. That's slowly flipping from red to blue, almost purple, really. But the map is at the halfway point now. You break here, you have your score. But so far, no one's done it so far. It's Enfant and Girl Like Her making the difference. That's a big one though. Miss in the middle for Enfant. Not even happy. Your score is about like 2/3 wiped out from that combo break. Now it's going to go towards Sweden side just a little bit more. 30,000, 40k now, and even 50. Let's see if they can make 100k. But with France on the ready to strike with Tree, they cannot get complacent. This map still has a couple more parts. This is a slower section. And well, I mean, you gotta control your nerves here. Watch out for any breaks, because this map goes quick.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, the accuracies in this lobby a bit higher than previous matches.
Oh,
It puts the aim section of Slider Break from right in there is shocking
always.
for Team France. And immediately after they see the damage done on the break, and we have not reached these ending bursts. They're a bit longer than the beginning half. You've been seeing a handful of fall aparts from teams previously, but this section, for all intents and purposes, is a bit of free combo, and
Oh,
Sweden looking to finish it out. There
just
won't
one
be a
more.
tiebreaker.
One more part. If Sweden does not budge here, it's over for France. Zeus goes down, but there's still 3 massive combos, as well as the break from Raiden Space State. Okay, wait, that's one, but I mean, it's 300,000 with Spitza and Gerliker with 1.2k, 0.5k combos respectively. France cannot do anything against that going into this ending, and Sweden finishes off the French 5-3 in what was a really close match with some massive score leads.
Yeah, both of these teams trading out number one scores for the weekends on relative picks that
Goodness.
you would not expect. And I mean, what a blowout. We weren't able to match that tiebreaker from the Balux match, but the level of skill shown in this matchup is a story in itself. And Sweden coming out on top off the back of that chain of breakpoints, culminating in that no mod 4, no mod 5 killing blow, is Sweden finishing out the weekend on top.
Yeah, lots of very strong team scores for the whole match. Sweden managing to edge out the ending there on the 1-5, as well as the very nice win on the 1-4, closing out that match very, very dominantly. They will move on to round 3 of the Swiss stage. France goes down one spot, but they are still alive. Watch out for that next opponent, whoever is against France, because that's seed number 4 you're going to face up against.
Yeah, regardless, whoever is in that 1-1 roster having a little bit of a bad time with that seed 4, but Sweden going up to the 2-0. I'm unsure who they go against. I believe it was the UK going against Russia, so whoever else is 2-0 goes against Sweden by default. I haven't giving up with the other matches, so I'm unsure who that may be, but Sweden, their matchup on paper is written, and next weekend we are going to be seeing the second Swiss stage pool come to fruition as both of these teams continue their stories.
For now, though, it's time to close the book. We've read all the pages for this round, and this was the last match of the weekend. We will see you next week, and Apple Showcase. Am I wrong? Is there Apple Showcase?
Map will showcase probably today or tomorrow. Post in chat. You can speak to that, but before we close it out, just wanted to give a quick shout out to that exclamation mark donate link in the chat. Feel free to donate to the 5-digit European Cup to get a cheeky little banner at the top of our streams. Will be helpful to the prize pool for our winning teams, but other than that, phenomenal way to close out the weekend, Fry, and be seeing you guys next time for 5-digit European Cup.
Peace out.